Om. 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 Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. All right. So I was thinking, because the 10th chapter is actually a continuation from ninth chapter. So let me just do a little recap. This will give you a synopsis of the what we have studied so far. Hari Om Saketi.
हरिओम। आप बिल्कुल
So
डिफरेंट दिख रहे हैं आज। ये
मैं इंडिया से
ट्रैवलिंग।
बोल रहा हूँ.
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा। awesome awesome awesome।
Yeah.
जय हो, जय हो।
Uh, so some people say that this is a commentary on Tattvamasi, the whole Bhagavad Gita, where the first six chapter is about Tvam. Tvam means us. The teacher is saying you. You means all of us. So Tvam Pada, and from 7th to 12th is Tat Pada. Tat means that. Now, what is Tvam and Tat and Asi? So let's understand that for a second and then we'll move on. So Tat Pada is thatness, which is, if we define it from the Vachyartha means from a word meaning point of view, it means that it includes the consciousness, which is Brahman, the conditioned consciousness, which means the, what should I call it, the that which the reflected consciousness, which makes us uh, aware, which makes us alive, that reflected consciousness, and everything that we can see, the Jagat. So all that is that only. That's the Vachyarth. But the Lakshyartha is the the consciousness alone, which is the Brahman, at a Brahman level. The English word consciousness doesn't really, because it has multiple meanings. So let's just stick to Brahman. So Brahman alone is that, that is how we can define it in the Lakshyartha. Lakshyartha means what that word is pointing to. The word is pointing to the that Brahman. Same way, the Tvam which is, if we take it from the Vachyartha means, what do you mean you? You means this body, the mind, the pranas, the intellect, the reflected consciousness and consciousness. So all that together is what we call as Jiva, because Jivatva is a combination of all these things. But the true Tvam is consciousness alone. That Lakshyartha is, so the Asi word, the Tattvam Asi word is not is, it means oneness. Oneness between Tat and Tvam. That's what this whole thing is about. So in the first six chapter, Bhagwan is talking about Tvam which is about Jiva. So it starts with the we start with the problem. What is the problem? What are we trying to solve? What is it that this Bhagavad Gita is about? Bhagavad Gita is about solving the most common human condition, which is Vishad, sorrow, Dukh. Dukh includes the fear, the shoka, moha, bhaya, dukkha. All these things are part of this Vishad. So the first chapter is about the condition of a human being, which is in that state of sorrow. Whatever is the reason. So reason is not defined yet. The second chapter starts with when this jiva surrenders to Bhagwan. Jiva says, I can't handle it. It is beyond me. They say it's beyond my pay scale. Go to the somebody who has more knowledge, who is more capable of answering that question. So when they go to that, that's when Bhagwan starts straight away with who you are. What is you? What is real you? And the verse 11 through 20 discuss about the actual Atma. In Bhagwan didn't use the word Atma, they use the word Shariri, you know, because from Sharir to Shariri, there is who is the enlivener in this uh, equipment, Equipment includes mind and intellect also. What is powering that? So that is where our Bhagwan starts the pravachan about how to get rid of the sorrows. That's the goal. The goal is that by knowing who you are, your sorrows will get eliminated. Because sorrows is not your swarupa. See, certain things you cannot eliminate. If I say, I want to become a horse, it cannot, because that's not my swarupa. I can act like a horse, or I can act like a dog, or I can act like somebody else. But my Swarupa means innate nature, So, so that is what Bhagwan is trying to talk about, that it is dukkha is not your innate nature, you are not dukkha Swarup, but you are conditioned to experience that. You are conditioned means you have accepted that role. You are playing a role and you have accepted that as you. That's where Bhagwan says, okay, you know what? I understand you won't get it at this time. We'll come back to it later in the 18th chapter also. And, multiple times we will do that. But here, let's start with something simpler, because Arjuna question was, what should I do? So there was no doing required. It was all about knowing your nature. So doing means you have to do purusharth. Purushartha is, for four things: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So Bhagavan says, okay, you know what? Let's start with karma yoga. So Bhagavan gives, lot of instructions about karma and karma yoga in second chapter, then in third chapter, and explains that the reason for karma yoga is so that you have chitta shuddhi. Your mind gets purified. When the mind gets purified, you are ready for the jnana. So it starts with, chitta shuddhi to, karma sannyas. We did that fourth chapter. Then jnana prapti. What is your nature? Bhagavan explains that in fifth chapter. What is your nature? So once Bhagavan talks about it, then the real question comes: how do I stay established in that jnana? So for that, Bhagavan gives a whole process of meditation. This is how you develop that jnana nishtha. Jnana nishtha means that you have to become firm in that. uh, you know Sometimes you have to get um, a little more training. So jnana nishtha means established in it. Then you don't waver from it. We said we have three-step process. Shravanam, mananam, and nididhyasana. So the first thing is understanding what gyan is. Gyan is about telling me what my true nature is. And then we want to remove our doubts. Sanshaya nivritti. Sanshaya nivritti means the doubts have to be cleared. That process is called mananam. That, okay, they say I am this, but I experience something else. So that process of uh, clarifying within myself, the all the doubts have to be removed. And then the third step is nididhyasana. That means, though my doubts are cleared, but I still behave the same way. I still get angry, I still get mad, I still uh, have that uh, lalach or whatever else. So that whole process has to be eliminated, which means viparita bhavana nivritti. Viparita bhavana means my acts are opposite of my swarupa. If my swarupa is, you know, to be generous, but I become very miser, that's not my swarupa. So that is viparita bhavana. So viparita bhavana nivritti is the nididhyasana. So now in this is up to sixth chapter. So seventh, eighth, ninth we did. So seventh starts with the tatpada vichara. Tatpad I talked about. Tat in the vachyartha sense, which means in the word meaning sense, includes everything which is Jagat, as well as the cause of the Jagat, the Brahman, the uh, reflected consciousness, the or what is experienced. The experienced Jagat is Tat, but from the Lakshartha point of view, which is the what Bhagwan is actually trying to say, is that Brahman alone. So that is why Bhagwan starts with the apara and para prakriti. So Bhagwan says, whatever you are experiencing is my para and apara prakriti. So lower and higher nature. Lower nature is whatever is experienced. Whatever we experience in this jagat is apara. And what is making that experience possible is para. Para is the what, or later on 13th chapter we will study the kshetra, kshetrajna, all that will come later also. But in the seventh chapter, Bhagwan just reveals it as that the himself means Krishna says, I am the utpatti sthiti laya karana. That I am the cause of the beginning, the sustenance, and the laya. Laya means dissolving of this universe is all me alone. Everything is happening because of my prakriti. This means I am the cause of both apara and para prakriti. Both are prakriti only. So prakriti is Bhagwan's power. Like we say sun and the sunlight. So sunlight is not different from sun. It's just its nature. So That's why it says, Mai Sarvamidam Protam. That means in ninth chapter, Bhagavan says, everything that is experienced is me alone, you know. So, but me alone as what? As the existence. Because we say this is, all that isness is Bhagwan, you know. So in that isness, all that experience is possible. Then Bhagwan talks about the three gunas, you know, but he says, I am nirguna. Three gunas are sato, rajo, tama. So all these things we talked about. I'm just giving you a very high level summary. So we know what we have already gone through, and then uh, he says, those who surrender to me, I take them across. See, I don't have the power to go across on my own, you know. I don't have, uh, there is no purusharth that will take me across. But that desire to go across, he says, when it becomes very strong, then Bhagwan alone is, says, now is the time. So that timing is important, you know, because he says, who are those people who want to go, you know, who come to me? So there are four types. The people who are artharthi means who have some desire. Bhagwan, I can't do it on my own. Please help me. You know, I want to be rich. Help me. I want to have a kid. Help me. I want to do this. So for everything, they come to me, which is good. That's one kind of bhakta. Then people who are in pain, artha. Artha means that they are suffering and they say, you know, please help me, you know, get me out of it. And then there are jignasus. Jignasu means they're curious about me. You know, who are you, Bhagavan? Tell me more about you. So all these are, they are called sakama bhakta. That means they have something that they want from me, you know. And then the fourth category of the bhakta is the nishkam karma, or nishkam bhakta, which is the jnani. So Bhagavan says that person is very dear to me, that jnani, because he has nothing to gain from me. He has already realized that he is one with me. The bond is very strong. So they are called the jnana nishtha, you know, the one who are established in that jnana. So when we see Krishna as the Ishwar, then we say, okay, he is Sarvajnatvam or Sarva Shaktiman, Sarva Karanatva. Sarva Karan means he is the cause for everything, you know. So that's the nature of Bhagwan. But we understand ourselves as the uh, replace all the sarva with alpa. Alpa means we have little knowledge, we have little powers, we have, you know, we become cause of some little stuff. That's it, you know. But we are constantly going through that repeated arrival and departure. That means we come and go, come and go. So um, because that's how we see ourselves. That's the tvam part of it, you know, that who am I? So Bhagwan says, once you have, you know, come to me, Bhagwan, okay, that was in seventh chapter, but there's a lot more in that. But then Krishna asks some question about, okay, what is Akshara Brahma? What is Adhyatma? What is, you know, Adi Bhut? What is Adi? And all these technical questions were answered in the eighth chapter, which, you know, is a very technical thing. But the the point was it gives you definition, so that we don't confuse about it. You know, the word has to have the same meaning between the listener and the speaker. If they are thinking of two different things, then that becomes a confusion, that, oh, you said this, but this is how I understood. No, no, no. Let me clarify. When I say this, this is what it means. That's what is defined in the eighth chapter. What is Adhyatma? Adhyatma is understanding what my true swabhava is. What is my true nature? You know, that's Adhyatma. What is Akshara? Akshara is that indivisible, that Param Brahma which cannot have any divisions. That is continuous. That's the only thing, which does not change, which does not go through any modification. So um, and he says, I am Adi Yagna. Adi Yagna means I am residing in everything, all the actions, all the, whether you talk about, you know, material, emotions, everything, Bhagwan is the substratum of that. So, so Bhagwan talks about, um, you know, also Bhagwan, that's where the word Dukhalayam is used also. That Bhagwan says this sansar is Dukhalayam. Alayam means the house of. See, like we say Himalaya. Himalaya means the house of snow or ice. Same way, Dukhalaya means this is the house of Dukha. Like we say Vidyalayam. Vidyalaya is the place where we get knowledge. So this is what uh, we talked about that. And then Bhagwan clarifies that those who have understood me, or those who have attained or realized their own swabhava, their own true nature, they don't have, they don't go through the cycle of rebirths. So Bhagavan talks about the dark path and bright path. I'm not going to go into the technical part of it. I want to leave some time for question and answer. Then Bhagavan talks about the same chapter 7 continuation is chapter 9, where he talks about the secret knowledge, the guhyatam, the most secret gyan, and why is it important? One is, um, he uses the word guhyatam is because to get Arjuna excited about it. When somebody says it's a very secret thing, then people want to say, tell me more about it. So Bhagavan talks about it. He says that you will become free of all inauspicious. That's the first thing Bhagwan promises. Inauspicious means the cause of our sufferings. And then, and he says it is very easy. It's not difficult. We think it is very difficult path, but it is not. It's Bhagwan. This is where the bhakti starts. Bhakti is supposed to be easy. Easy in the sense, if you have set your mind to it, then it is easy, you know. And once you have surrendered to Bhagwan, then it becomes easy, not otherwise. If we have selfish motives, our we are driven by our desires, then it is very, very difficult. So Bhagwan says that I am avyakta. Here he defines his nature as avyakta. That means I am Vyakta means that which gets manifested. The avyakta means which is never manifested. So Bhagwan doesn't get manifested. Bhagwan is the avyakta, but it is also the adhishthan. Adhishthan means it is the substratum of. So what Bhagwan is trying to say is this Jagat has no real independent reality. What provides it a reality is me. I am the existence for this. We talk about Satchidanand. Sat means the existence. The what we see things, We experience things, we hear things, touch things, smell things, all that we experience as reality. So Bhagavan says, but they are just transition, they are going through a continuous change. But what is supporting that change is me, because Bhagavan accommodates everything, because that's what uh, it creates, it sustains, it dissolves. So, and Bhagavan says, I am neither the Karta nor the Bhokta. I am not Karta Bhokta. I am beyond that. Karta and Bhokta both are the effects, but Bhagavan is the cause. Because, when you become Karta, you also become Bhokta right away. There is no, which means when we are driven by our ego, that false sense of I-ness is ego. That drives us, where we have already accepted this limited self as me. So the Bhagavan says, okay, that's the problem. That's your biggest problem. So he says, because you have accepted this form, then you will continuously go through changes. There is nothing, I mean, that's the prakriti, that's the nature of things, that's the drama that is going on. So we become part of that drama. But there is a way out of that. So those who don't seek that truth, because they are driven by the desires, hopes, all that stuff, they they may get what they are looking for, but that does not free them up. That is not the cause of their freedom, because what we are seeking is, the moksha is freedom from becoming, that I become this. If I am, if I am something, but I want something else. I want that want is what is driving me. So Bhagavan says, in those people, there is a constant uh, cycle that is going on, because they are driven by that. That's what they want, that's what they will get. But then there are others, the Mahatmas, Bhagavan talks about it, that they worship me. That means I am their only goal. I am their only gati. Gati is goal. So then Bhagavan talks about, from a bhakta perspective, so what do? They are involved in, kirtanam, seva, puja, charity, pilgrimage. That's from starting from the saguna bhakti, that the saguna ishvara dhyanam, that I want to, if I am, if I see Bhagwan as Krishna, then Krishna alone is my goal. That's where I want to be, that's where I want to get. And in Vedanta we talk about, the how to get to the that pure Brahman, through the Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, which we talked about. But it requires a continuous practice. The practice is about how to drop my current state. That's the problem. So we, in from in ninth chapter, I think 16 through 19th, we talked about the different vibhutis, of Bhagwan. Bhagwan talks about that a little bit, where he talks about the pointers to Bhagwan. What is it? Those are points that Bhagwan says, that's how you will start to realize my nature. So it says, I am the Gati, I am the Bharta. Bharta means I am the owner of this. I am the Prabhu and I am the Sakshi. So that means that I am the experienced and the experiencer. Both actually I am in that. And then Bhagavan talks about the Sakam Bhakta, and then Bhagavan talks about Yoga Kshema, that those bhaktas, they have totally uh, dedicated themselves to me. So the question comes then, if they have dedicated, how do they run their life? How do they manage their livelihood? How do they feed their family? He says they have left all the yoga kshema. Yoga kshema means that which you want and that which you have but don't want to lose. So all that is taken care of by me. That they have left the yoga kshema on me and I take care of that. That Bhagwan's guarantee in the 22nd verse. This is a very famous verse. And those are the single pointed bhaktas. Bhakta that is totally dedicated to me. And then Bhagwan also talks about people who worship other devatas. Other devata means other powers. That means I want something from them. Then those devatas, actually, I am the one who is fulfilling the desires through them also. But then they get to those devata, their they will meet their goals. That's what Bhagavan is saying. That if they want this, then they will get what they are looking for. But that is not the that will not what is it, get rid of their sorrows. See, first point was this whole Bhagavad Gita is about removal of sorrows, fears, moha, all that uh, is what we want to remove. So he says, by dedicating yourself to some other devata, that means for some other cause other than Paramatma, you will continuously go through the cycle. Uh, though I am the cause that allows this thing to happen. So, so basically, Bhagavan says, you know, um, what is my bhakti? He says, I get pleased with the least amount, patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam, all that little things also please me, but you have to come to me. You have to offer all your material and actions to me. ये सब भगवान का ही है. मैं कुछ कर नहीं सकता है ना, कुछ किया ना कर सकूं, ना कुछ करने जोग, जो कुछ किया प्रभु आपने आप ही करने जो. There's a verse from somewhere, but what it means is that this will free me from my karma bandhan, because I am not karta anymore. I have i have stopped to see myself as the doer. I say Bhagwan alone is the doer, but then Bhagwan alone becomes the bhokta also. So that is where the true mumukshutvam comes into play. That's the only goal. It is also a purusharth. It is also an effort. But this effort will get me to that truth. That is where I develop that love for Bhagwan. That the bhakti is nothing but that love. So that's where it concludes that Bhagwan says, I don't have a partiality. You want this, whatever, you want wealth, you will get wealth. You want a status, you will get a status. But that doesn't get rid of your sorrows. The only way you get rid of your sorrows, when you realize I am not the one having that sorrow. That assumed identity is not me. That is what the goal is. And Bhagwan glorifies the bhakti also, because it says it is available to everybody and it has no prerequisites. So for jnana, you need prerequisite. Jnana requires to have, some amount of chitta shuddhi. Bhakti doesn't require that. It says, put your mind in me. So Bhagavan says, what should I do? In the last verse, Bhagavan says, man mana bhava mad bhakta. that you put your mind in me. That means that the only thought is me. That's how you become my devotee. That Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. You basically do my puja, archana, do salutation to me. This means all my karma kanda is dedicated to me. That's what it means. It's not like you have to do continuous puja and archana. It means every action that you do, you are surrendering it to Bhagwan. That Bhagwan, I'm doing it for you because I love you so much. See, we do things for our family. He says, I am earning for you, my family, so I can provide for the family. But Bhagwan says, don't worry about family. Family, I'll take care of it. You come to me. That's, do every action as dedicated, Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. Mame Vaishyasi Yukta Vaivam, Vaivam Atmana, which means that you surrender to me totally, and Mat Parayana, you come to me. Come to me means you and I become one. That's the goal. That means focus your mind in me, you devote yourself to me, dedicate all your actions to me, and surrender to me means you understand this body is nothing but a vehicle that is going to take me across. That's, Bhagwan's um, instructions so far that we have done. And so I thought we will open up for some discussion, whatever we have covered so far. And then on Tuesday, we will start with the 10th chapter. So I'm not going to close the recording, but if you have any questions, we can take that.
I have a lot of questions. I've been
Okay.
trying to ask those questions, but you were away.
Okay.
So first questions is from today actually. So tattvam means to me, so far what I understood was tattva, tattva
Tat.
gyan, tattva.
No,
So
no, no.
it cannot be
Tat
split
is
into,
different from tattva. Tat means that. Tattva means substratum. Tattva means substance. Yeah.
yeah. So elements are called tattva in chemistry.
Yes. Yes.
So
But tat
because
means
they are pure.
that. Yeah.
So we would split it as tat and tvam, then it will become double T. When tat and tvam you combine them, then it will become double
Tattum.
T. So is that tattwamasi? Is that double T in the middle?
I don't know English. You can pronounce it. But if you do the sandhi vichhed, with
Yeah,
separate the words, then it becomes tat and tvam and asi. Asi means
that part
oneness
is
of the tat and tvam.
okay. That was one question on the Sanskrit part. The other question is the Gyan and Bhakti cannot start until the attachment remains. So Bhakti
Yes.
cannot start until attachments because that's the prerequisite of
Actually,
Bhakti.
bhakti can. The only thing is you have changed your attachment from material to Bhagwan. You are now, like the Mira says, Mere to Girdhar Gopal. So that attachment to Girdhar Gopal is very strong. Dusro na koi. There is no other. My dependence is only on that one.
Yeah, right. That is a very big prerequisite because we have dusro na koi. We have the dusro is the bank
Multiple
balance,
dusros. Yeah.
right? Bank balance or superior health or superior family and friends. So there is
Yeah.
so many dusros in various forms. To
Yep.
to do that detachment is like the bhakti prerequisite and very
Detachment from everything else. That's what
exactly.
it is.
So that is from today's. So
Hmm.
now we go to that Atma's form that Bhagwan says, जिसमें कहते हैं कि न नाश होती है न आत्मा का पुनर्जन्म होता है. So that is, he is giving the discussion about the nature of Atma, but it is
Nature of
very
you.
similar. Yeah,
Atma means I. So this is my nature as which is not going through any change. But what I experience is change all the time. I was young, I become old, I was, poor, I have earned some money, I have, no status, I have some status. So all that change is what I think I am. But Bhagavan says, no, no, you are not any of those things. That's where Bhagavan is pointing what your true swarupa is. Swarupa means your real true identity, true nature.
yeah, perfect. So that Atma, the description is so aligned with Bhagwan's description as well.
Yes,
So
that is why Tat Tvam Asi, that oneness of that Tat and Tvam, that Bhagwan alone is through
the Atma,
me. Yes.
right. So when the Bhakt is actually focusing on the Bhagwan's form, and since all of those are uh, really the Brahma, Param
Mhm.
Brahma by itself, so it actually there shouldn't be any confusion with the having the form or formless and pray. They should all be in the same. It should be the same technique. I mean, you're just using a different name, different style, but it is actually all of just one single. Maybe the goal is not the right word or to use it in this. I think every technique would be just the same technique because whether it's bhakti or whether it's through jnana, it
Yeah.
is the
The
same.
the difference is that Jnani also surrenders to Bhagwan. It understands its nature as that of Paramatma. The Bhakta says, I don't want to give up my this nature as a bhakta. I want to continue as a bhakta. Like Naraji says, okay, I have, Bhagavan says, you have enough jnana. Why do you want to, stay as Narad? He says, that joy of being Narad is so much that I don't want to give that up. That means bhakta, when realizes the his connection with Bhagwan, that oneness with Bhagwan, he still wants to retain that identity of Bhakta. That is the only difference. Jnani wants to give up this identity also.
Yeah, that's a huge difference.
Yeah. The Jnani
And
says, I don't want any identity. I want to become nothing.
yeah, so
Shunya.
Bhagwan
Yeah.
Narad, as you mentioned, he is a bhakt, Bhagwan's param bhakt.
Param Bhakta, right.
Yeah. And Uddhav ji is, jnani, but he has turned into bhakt after meeting the gopis.
Yes.
Actually, turned into
Is the
prema.
oneness between the two. As
Yeah,
Jnani and Bhakta are no different. Yeah, that's where,
yeah,
yeah. All right.
beautiful.
Anybody else has any thoughts? Maybe I'll stop the recording right now.
I
Maybe
do
we can.
have a couple of questions, Rajiv.
Okay,
Saket ji,
go
it's nice
ahead.
to see you. Nice to see everyone.
Nice to
Nirupama
meet
ji, Malvika ji, Sunila ji. So it's great to be here. Um, so my first question is about the last shloka of the previous chapter, the ninth one, the Mad Bhakta. What is that word, Mad Bhakta?
Mad Bhakta means my Bhakta.
Acha,
Mad is mine.
right.
My
So,
Bhakta.
yeah, so there I
Become
wanted
my
to,
Bhakta. That's what Bhagwan's instruction is to Arjuna.
right. So there I wanted to discern a little bit about, because we use the word bhakti and bhakt very easily, and it seems as if it should be self-evident. But you
Yeah.
see, I can have भक्ति इन गणेशा और whoever some देवी जो भी है जो जिसकी मैं उपासना करता हूँ उसको मैं तो बोलूँगा उसके प्रति मेरी भक्ति है. तो I was thinking कि when Bhagwan says कि in one of the chapters he says कि out of millions only thousands will look for this, and then out of thousands only that person truly tries to know my true nature, and out of those only very few. So I was thinking when he says कि you should become a mad bhakta, he's saying कि have bhakti in who I truly am. Otherwise, if you just imagine a form, Krishna, or that's just like any other Devi Devta, that you may feel like you are loving something, but it's just another object of affection or something like that. That's not necessarily the true bhakti or longing, because only if I want to be free of my sorrows by knowing my true nature, and then I see that Bhagwan, Lord Krishna, Sagun or Nirgun, that he is that unchanging nature, Chaitanya, which will free me. That is what I am in love with, और उसका मैं भक्त हूँ. उनकी जो ऐसी अद्भुत क्वालिटी है जो, and that is also my quality. वो तो मतलब that's the other thing कि for the time being I'm pretending it's over there so that I can be a bhakt and thing like that. So I was thinking कि what you are in love with is as important to discern as otherwise just like an emotional attitude कि मैं तो भक्त हूँ, मैं तो भक्त हूँ, मैं तो मत भक्त हूँ, something like that, और अब मैं अर्पण भी सब कुछ कर रहा हूँ. बिकॉज उस उन सब में फिर भी डुअलिटी रहती है ना, लाइक देयर इज समवन देयर एंड गो अहेड.
Pretense and actual,
हम्म.
So when it is actual, you don't have to pretend you are that, Mad Bhakta, Bhagwan is telling Arjuna to become my Bhakta means of my true nature, which he has
यस.
described earlier. Yes,
मतलब कि इट्स एज इफ कि उसमें कोई डिफरेंस ही नहीं रह जाएगा. जैसे ना इनफैक्ट
right.
इन वन ऑफ द चैप्टर ही सेज कि ऑल्दो एवरीवन इज प्रियर टू मी, लेकिन जो मुझे ऐसे ध्यान से
Yogi
रखता
hai.
है मैं उसमें ज्यादा हूँ. ही इज बेसिकली सेइंग कि जो अपने मतलब मुझको अपने आप में देखता है उसमें मैं मतलब इट्स लाइक सेल्फ एविडेंट, राइट. सो ही सेइंग कि आई एम यू, सो love the fact that I am you, and your nature is limitless and all that, because then there is the oneness in that. There's the oneness in that, and if the bhakt to the extent you feel like is a little bit of a separate, तो then bhakti से आप फिर वो you're trying to kind of purify that. But anyway,
Bhakti is nothing but that love for it.
yes,
The,
yes.
you develop that love for, and love only happens when you start to know about it. You cannot love something that you don't know about, you know. So, so that is why we go through all that, knowledge is also equally important, side by side. So once you understand this is what Bhagwan is, then you fall in love with Bhagwan, you know.
And
You
actually,
understand the beauty, the reason and the closeness with Bhagwan.
but I think Rajiv, you had said this once before. I'm trying to remember that. See, as you just said, is the love itself, love for or like the bhak. Like in the end, there's only bhakti, like devotion, or
Mhm.
ना तो कोई भक्त करने वाला है ना तो ऑब्जेक्ट है कोई, मतलब that openness, that reverence for the quality, is the quality alone remains, the bhakti alone remains. There's kuch, everything, nothing else is there. Anyway, I was just, in saying all this, I was just reflecting कि we read it so often कि तू मेरा भक्त बन जा और मैं भक्त हूँ, ये सब वैसे, लेकिन भक्ति किस चीज के प्रति आपका लव है वो भी बड़ा क्लियर होना चाहिए, क्योंकि अदरवाइज तो
And Bhagwan has already clarified his nature in the last chapter. So in that alone, Bhagavan says, become my bhakta means you develop that love for me, you know, because once you develop the love, that brings closeness. See,
But
the what
but
does
first
love do?
but first you
Love
have to know the
becomes,
true nature. First you have to know the true nature. जैसे भगवान ने बोला कि I am the cause
yeah,
of everything. I am unchanging.
yes. My
Hmm.
Siri woke up. He says, "This is what I understood of love." And there's a definition.
अच्छा
Somebody's listening to
अच्छा,
this
the
Bhakti.
other question is ज्ञान and विज्ञान, because both in seventh and ninth भगवान की,
Mhm.
अब मैं तुम्हें फिर से वो विज्ञान सहित ज्ञान बोलूंगा जिसको जानकर किसी और चीज को जानने की जरूरत नहीं रहेगी.
Yes,
So you
yes.
did use the word gyan before, like mind is purified and then you can receive gyan. So this vigyan, which is the non-dual knowledge of the tattva and all that, भगवान is saying कि मैं विज्ञान सहित बोलूंगा.
Mhm.
उसका
Yes.
मतलब जो असली जो है वो तो अनिर्वचनीय है, ये सब वो सब, मतलब कान इवन. तो भगवान बोलते मैं तुम्हें विज्ञान सहित ज्ञान
Yeah.
बोलूंगा. उसका क्या मतलब हुआ फिर?
Vigyan is Vishishta Gyan, that Gyan which will free you. That ज्ञान, सी इंफॉर्मेशन मेरे पास हो लेकिन उसको मैं यूज नहीं कर रहा, then what good is that information, you know?
ओके.
So I have that knowledge about truth, but I don't use that knowledge for anything, then that, so when I start to use that knowledge, it becomes my knowledge, you know, that vishishta gyan becomes vigyan, you know, that now I am actually enlivening that knowledge.
So it's only Vigyan or Vishisht Gyan that purifies, no? Like suppose,
Yes, both purify actually. You know, even Gyan will purify, but it will not free you, you know. So the freedom comes from when you start to see oneness with that Gyan, that this Gyan is not about something, it is
yes,
about
yes,
me.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes. You are that. You are that. So
you
that would
are
be
that.
like the
Yeah.
Nidhi Dhyasan. Nidhi Dhyasan is the,
Yeah, right, right, right. Vigyan is leads to that. Yes.
hmm,
Or Nidhi Dhyasan leads to that Vigyan. Let's put it
right,
that way.
right. But I can't help but feel that um, in the affection with which Bhagwan says to Shri Arjuna ki Mahabaho, Priya, he uses so many affectionate terms and all that. He says कि अब मैं तुम्हें वो विज्ञान सहित ऐसे कहूंगा कि बस उसको सुनकर उसको अब्जॉर्ब करके तुम्हें किसी और चीज़ की जरूरत नहीं है. आई फील लाइक कि वो जो साक्षात जो श्री लॉर्ड कृष्ण थे वहाँ पे अर्जुन के लिए, तो there must be some special quality where श्री कृष्ण उवाच, मतलब जो स्पोकन जो है ना, उन्होंने जो बोला वहां पे, आई वंडर इफ इन द स्पीकिंग इटसेल्फ देयर वाज सम ट्रांसमिशन.
Absolutely, absolutely. There must be, because you see, then the 10th chapter discuss all the vibhutis of Bhagwan.
हाँ हाँ हाँ
And
हाँ.
then 11th chapter, Arjuna says, okay, I am convinced, you know, I think that is great, but can you show it to me? You
यस
know,
यस यस.
it's like proof is in the pudding, you know. Okay. So, so that's where this progression of knowledge happens.
And I
This
think
is where,
the way Sri Arjun regards Sri Krishna also shifts from the first, second, third chapter, right? He knows that he's Bhagwan, right? But and he surrendered to him in chapter second. But as this Vigyan Sahit, मैं ये भी हूँ, मैं वो भी हूँ, मैं सबका मूल कारण हूँ. Now Sri Arjun also relates to him कि truly you are, मतलब at least थोड़ी mystery.
not seeing,
हाँ,
yes, he is not seeing him as a person anymore. He's
right,
seeing,
right, exactly. मतलब there is a unfathomability or inscrutability, so at least is mystified कि कौन है ये, मतलब
yes.
किससे मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, कौन किसकी आवाज आ रही है जो मैं सुन रहा हूँ. या ऑलराइट. By
So
the way, looking at the
close